Welcome into the Lobo Basketball postgame show live from the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. New Mexico falls for the first time in this building since the first game played in this gym in the Alford Neal era. The last time the Lobos lost here was 2007. It was the only time Coach Alford lost here as the head man, and Coach Neal had never lost here until tonight. A string of 8 in a row in this building comes to an end. The Lobos fall 84-71 the final. New Mexico State wins it. It is the Lobo Basketball post-game show. Tonight, New Mexico with 2 Everguard Solar Slam Dunks. That's $20 at $10 per dunk to All Face. All Face serves over 2,500 kids and their families every year. They teach them how to prevent abuse. They guide them as they recover from it. Help us give children back their childhood. Learn more by visiting allfaiths.org. Some team numbers, points in the paint, Lobos 38, Aggies 26. Off turnovers, Aggies 24, Lobos 20. Second chance, Lobos 10, Aggies 9. Fast break, 6-2, New Mexico. Bench points, New Mexico 33, Aggies 24. How about this for a team number, though? Aggies equal their season best with 11 three balls on 22 attempts. They shoot 50%. The Lobos just 4 of 17, and it's the 4th consecutive Lobo opponent to either equal or better their previous season best from the arc, Hunter.
I mean, and the percentage, 50% from the 3. I mean, it seems like each team, each night, there's a team that steps up and has a career shooting night at the beyond the arc. So New Mexico still has that struggles with defending the 3-ball here against the Aggies. And we talked about the fact that Nadir wasn't going to be playing because of an ankle injury. Who's going to step up? Well, it looked like Baker was going to step up because he had a great night. He had 26 points. He basically doubled his average in scoring tonight. So the Aggies got it done. New Mexico couldn't guard them, couldn't stop the 3-ball, couldn't stop the ball penetration, the transition buckets. And the Aggies had a success in turning the Lobos over early in the game with the full court trap.
Jamario Jones off the bench played huge tonight as well, Hunter, and he scores in double figures with 15 and pulls 10 rebounds for a double-double as he bests his season average in points by 5. That was very big. And then they got the production they needed from Huggins before he fouled out as he knocked down 4 triples and scored 14. Eli Chua with a big game and a double-double, 12 points and 14 boards. And the rebounding advantage in the first half was huge. In the end, it's 39-29 Aggies, and that's not where you want it. They win the rebounding battle. The offensive board totals 11 and 10, but you look back at what happened in the first half when they established the 17-point lead, and they out-rebounded the Lobos 19-11 and 5-3 on the offensive glass. That was big, too.
Yeah, the boards, and you got to give credit to Eli Chua. He had 14 boards, 5 offensive.
Big time. All right, Lobos fall 84-71 in the Pan Am Center. When we come back on the other timeout, the Lobo Basketball postgame show continues. Stay with us. Lobo Basketball from Learfield. Back on the Lobo Basketball postgame show. New Mexico falls in Las Cruces 84-71. Time to select our Subway sub of the game. It's brought to you by Subway of New Mexico. It is Dane Kuiper, who scores a new career high, 15 points. He pulls 3 rebounds. He drops 2 dimes, 2 assists for Kuiper, 6 of 9 field, 3 of 5 from deep. And Dane Kuiper is the Subway sub of the game. Previous career best, 11 points, scores 15 tonight. Subway restaurants keep you going on and off the court. Stop in today. Subway, eat fresh. Congratulations to Dane Kuiper, your Subway sub of the game. Well, Hunter, it was a 5-game win streak overall for the Lobos in this rivalry. You go back to the 27-win team. They had lost at home in Coach Neal's first season as the head man. It's the first loss to the Aggies since then. It was 9 years ago the last time the Lobos lost here, 2007. That streak was 8 in a row, and New Mexico had won 14 of the last 16 from their Rio Grande rival. So this was a big one for the Aggies here tonight.
Yeah, it was, especially without their top scorer. Nadir was out, and they were able to get it done.
No doubt. All right, time for us to take a timeout. Lots to do still on the Lobo Basketball postgame show. We've got to select our P&M Reliable Player, our State Farm Combo of the game, and the Delta Dental Coaches' comments with Coach Neal. 84-71, the Lobos fall in Cruces. Lobo basketball from Learfield. Welcome back on the Lobo basketball post-game show. New Mexico falls 84-71 in Las Cruces. Let's take a listen into our combination of the game. When you have the right combination, great things happen like this. Man-to-man full court pressure being employed. And Harris sprints it across the timeline. Harris crosses over on Haley. No-look whip pass to, and he lays it in. That's all the true freshman Harris on the creation. There it is, your State Farm combination of the game. Talk to an agent about combining your home and auto into a plan that's right for you. Here to help life go right. State Farm, the State Farm combination, Harris to Jet. All right, it's our privilege now to welcome in Lobo head coach Craig Neal for the Delta Dental Coaches' comments. Brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. And Coach Neal, just overall thoughts as we begin on tonight's contest.
Well, I just thought they came out and really went after us, and I thought our guys just thought they were going to come in here and win because they won by 13 in the first game. And you can't play like that in a rivalry game, but I know everybody's going to be saying this, but I'm not going to coach energy, and I'm not a motivational speaker. I can motivate and do all that, but at the end of the day, they got to come out and play. Now, they did that the second half and played like they should to start the game, but I couldn't believe that pressure hurt us because we got good guards, but we have 5 turnovers and 7 jump shots in the first 5 minutes. And we're not going to win that way. And I thought they learned, you think there'd be a veteran group that would learn that happened to us at Illinois State. And then at the end of the game, we got it to 9. We take jump shot, jump shot, jump shot. And they got to understand it doesn't work like that. And, it's like a broken record, but we got to get better. But Ian Baker willed them to win. He hadn't beat us, wanted to beat us. The dominance at that position keeps happening. And, if it keeps happening, we're going to be in for a long year because you can't get dominated at that position. Now it's going to be, 20-6 or 7. I mean, we got to get more from that. And, that's just one of those things. But I thought we got some good minutes from some guys that came on. I thought Kuiper was really good. I just don't understand some of our other guys that didn't come in and really give us much. Our rebounding was not very good. And we had opportunities. We cut it to 3, and I told them before the game we had to rebound, and that was going to be the biggest thing. And they beat us by 10 on the glass, and we would play good defense, and then we couldn't secure a rebound, and they'd bang a 3. And what we don't understand is that has hurt us all year. Offensive rebounds, 3-point shot. That's the easiest way to get a 3-point shot, and that hurts us. And, they learned the hard way. You can't have 8 assists with 14 turnovers. But they came out. It's hard to come back from 17. I think we got it to 3 at one time and then had 2 or 3 defensive screw-ups and didn't get a good shot. So they battled back, but we ran out of gas.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talked about it earlier. I mean, your bench came in, gave you great minutes early on.
Mm-hmm.
The question was how come you didn't stick with them? You kind of went back to your starters, and because at the time they were rolling.
Yeah, they were rolling, but then they needed breaks. Yeah. I mean, they got to get in better shape, and when they need breaks, when Jalen needed a break, when Damian needed a break, I got to get them out because the thing that happens with us is when when guys get tired, it becomes a mental game, and we haven't been very good at that mental toughness, and we got to get better at it.
Delta Dental Coaches' comments with Lobo head coach Craig Neal. You mentioned the great bench production that you got from both Kuiper and Jefferson there in the first half. You talked about the first 4 minutes, and the last couple of games, the starters had been so good, but not tonight.
Yeah, their pressure for some reason bothered us, and I don't understand that. It wasn't like they were coming. It wasn't like we were playing West Virginia or UNLV of old, they were just running a guard at us, and all you had to do is throw it to the next guard and make a play. Yeah. And, we went over and over and over it, but for some reason we just locked up and didn't make good plays. In Damian's case, he played real good in the first half and had 9, but then Elijah came out and had a good 6 minutes. So it's hard to get him right back into the game because you got, supposedly player of the year, but, he just didn't shoot it well. He took some bad shots, and we're going to have to continue to talk about that. But bright spots, Jalen Harris was tremendous. I thought he played really good. I thought Damian played good. Kuiper played good, and Tim was the usual self. We just didn't get a lot from a lot of guys.
Well, you talked about this in the pregame, is getting that ball movement, moving it from side to side.
And we didn't do that early.
And it seems like when Elijah tries to create, you get away from that, and the ball gets stagnant.
Gets really stagnant, and it sticks. So we've talked about it. We showed film about it, but we're going to have to do it because when we get ball reversals and player movement, when we get player movement and ball reversals, it's fine. But when we don't get that, it's ugly, and it's not good offense.
The point guard position, Jalen Harris really tremendous tonight for much of the game when Jordan Hunter struggled tonight. And your freshman had a couple of games that weren't up to the standard that he'd set at the start of the year, but he was really good tonight.
Jalen Harris?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific tonight. Yeah. I thought he was really good.
Why did you decide to start him in the second half?
I went with who was playing well. I mean, I've got to make some tough decisions, and you're going to see a change in the starting lineup. And I'm going to make some changes because it's not working. And here's what you got to understand. We've been a winning program, and I know 2 years ago we lost, and that's on me. I take that. We had some injuries, but there's no excuse. Last year we finished fourth in the conference with a veteran group coming back. So, I still think we're going to compete for the conference. But we've given some games away that we can't give away, but I'm going to play the guys. It's a privilege to wear our uniform. And if guys get subbed out and they walk to the bench, they won't play. They don't. That's not how you treat the jersey. That's not how you treat our program. And if you're not going to do what I ask you to do, then you can't be part of this program. And I got some guys. They're going to try to fight me. Well, they're going to lose. And that's just the way it is. It's like I said earlier. I think Coach Popovich said it better. It's not my job to motivate or coach effort. That's their responsibility. If they're a Division I player and they came here, that's their responsibility to play hard. It's their responsibility to represent themselves, their family, the program. And, yeah, I can motivate them, but I've never had to coach effort, and I was never a motivational speaker for 10 years that we've been here. And the guy in front of me that was my best friend, he wasn't either. So guys before these guys played. We're a winning program, and they got to start playing in winning ways and doing little things. If they don't do it academically, if they don't do it off the floor and they procrastinate, that's what happens when it happens on the floor. And until they understand that's the struggle that we're in. And the only thing I can do is try to make an impact on them, try to teach them, try to do all I can. But, that's the tough part of the business.
Along the lines of effort, you talked about the rebounding, and it was primarily in the first half where they out-rebounded you by 8 and 2 on the offensive glass. Is the rebounding piece of it just effort, or is there something else that they need to do better to rebound better?
No, guys, you guys have been around me and been with us and seen practices. Hunter played at a high level. When you got 6 guys that play double-figure minutes and they're below Jordan Hunter in rebounds, that's a problem. That's not what we do, X's and O's and any of that. That's just a problem that they have to correct. And you can't have guys that play 18, 20 minutes that are big players have 2 rebounds. It can't happen. And you're not going to win games. I mean, we cut it to 3 or 5 or 7. We give them an offensive rebound on a free throw. I mean, I showed that in tape before we came over here. So, I mean, our veteran guys, Elijah and Tim, have to really start they got to start making those guys, and they got to make those guys accountable. And I'm going to make those guys more accountable. But, we got a good team. We haven't played well. Tonight was a perfect example. We played about 15 minutes of the UTEP game, and we had a kid make a good shot. But they had a really good player tonight that willed them to win, and he was outstanding.
I've said since the first time I watched you guys practice in camp that Dane Kuiper's jump shot looks as good as I've ever seen it. He's clearly worked hard on it. I was waiting for a shooting night like tonight, and I think that this can happen for him. It's not just tonight.
I don't think it's Dane Kuiper just as shooting. I think Dane Kuiper the player. Yeah. I think he's got great feet. He can guard. He anticipates. He's an all-around player. But Dane's got to quit sitting back and watching. And he's got to keep competing because he's a high-level player. And tonight you saw a little bit how good he can do. He can drive it. He can pass it. He can guard. He can rebound. he's an all-around player. But tonight was that's the way he can play. And he's got to ask that. He's got to ask that upon himself every night.
Well, is this a good time for there to be this little break, this little respite that you have before you get on the court?
No,
next?
because I'd rather practice some more. But I'm going to give them a couple days off because they got finals. But we'll get back after. They got to get. We got to get academics in order, but they'll get a couple days off to get finals because we got finals on Monday and Tuesday. Most of them are Monday and Tuesday. And then we'll start getting ready for Pine Bluff on next Saturday.
All right, Coach Neal.
All right, thanks, y'all. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Coach.
Global head coach Craig Neal, your Delta Dental coach's comments brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. Almost 400,000 New Mexicans covered by Delta Dental plans. For more info, log on to deltadentalnm.com. Back for a P&M Reliable Player of the Game after this. Lobo basketball falls 84-71 in Las Cruces to the Aggies. Lobo basketball from Learfield. We're back at the Pan Am Center on the Lobo basketball postgame show. New Mexico falls to the Aggies 84-71 is the final. Time for the P&M Reliable Player of the Game. The P&M Reliable Player of the Game tonight, none other than Lobo guard Elijah Brown. Top of the circle. Kuiper turns to face, whips it to EB, right wing. That's an open three. Yes, sirree. That's a big one. Nice find by Kuiper and a big shot by EB.
Elijah Brown takes his time, lines it up, and knocks it down.
That was his only three of the night. Elijah Brown is the P&M Reliable Player of the Game. P&M here for you in all of New Mexico. Reliable people, reliable partner in our communities, reliable power. Nationally, P&M ranks among the best consistently for keeping the lights on. Your P&M Reliable Player of the Game, Elijah Brown. He does score a team-high 18, but 5 of 14 floor, 1 of 9 long range, 7 of 9 at the line, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers. But Elijah Brown is indeed our P&M Reliable Player of the Game. Back to close it out from the Pan Am Center. Lobos fall to the Aggies 84-71. Lobo basketball from Learfield.